From the Maple View Animal Hospital studios, this is the WHTC Morning News with Gary Stevens and Peg McNichol on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Tuesday, September the 15th. It's time now on Tuesday mornings to have the garden party. Take a look at what you want in your garden or your yard, what you don't want. Take care of the birdies and getting rid of the varmints. All that with the master gardener from DeBruyn Seed, Washington, Elm, and downtown Zeeland. Jan Meeuwsen's on the other side of our Google Meet connection. Good morning, Jan.
Good morning.
We want to spend a little, we'll have a lot of time to talk about yard and garden issues. We'll get through our awards category when Jan joins us again between 10 and 11 for the Yard and Garden Hour on WHTC's Talk of the Town. But I do want to mention about the latest edition of the DeBruyn Seed Store Backyard Sanctuary. And Mr. Butternut has been busy with his little paws.
Yes,
and I think he's channeling his inner Bobby Boris Pickett. No, I am not going to sing the lyrics to the rewritten Monster Mash that Mr. Butternut has presented to us. But I will verbally do it, and you can imagine Bobby Pickett, the late Bobby Pickett, singing this. Jan was working in her lab late one night when her eyes beheld an eerie sight. The cabbage plants from the blotter paper began to rise, and suddenly, to her surprise, they began to pop. They did the seed lap hop, the seed lap hop. They just couldn't stop. The seed lap hop. Soon all the seeds were popping. They did the seed lap hop. This was no flop. From a laboratory in the office east to the lunchroom where the employees feast, the seeds all came from their humble trays to stretch their roots and get out and play. They began to bob. They did the seed lap hop. The seed lap hop. They just couldn't stop. The seed lap hop. Soon all the seeds were bopping. They did the seed lap hop. This was no flop. Mr. Butternut, I didn't realize he had that, let's just say, a little bit of poetic license from Bobby Pickett.
Didn't even know he knew the song, did you?
No. You have to, I would have played it, but, we got to take care of the legalities on this, unfortunately. Yes. But the DeBruyn Seed Lab opens up this fall, and Mr. Butternut wanted to honor that today.
Yes, he wanted to, because a lot of people have questions about what in the world I do up here. But
besides
I spend a lot of time in the lab. And I am watching little seeds grow. Yes.
You're starting to, in fact, wait a minute. To get the seed plant to open in the fall, we begin much earlier than that. In fact, almost 10 months earlier. So it's almost like a year-round thing, isn't it?
Yeah, as seed comes in, we have to count out 4 packs of 100 seeds because that's what I have to do. So as soon as I come in, I've got it, and then when I'm ready to do that seed, I've got it all set to go.
For some of us who have to deal with lots of pills, you get the little, Monday through Sunday pill container, AM and PM, Yeah, do that too.
Yes.
Oh, yeesh. Now you only count the larger seeds, according to Mr. Butternut.
Well, yeah, the guys all say that I only do the large seeds, and they have to do the little teeny tiny ones. But they forget I am the one that has to put all those little tiny seeds on a blotter. So yes, I do get to play with all of them.
Do you pull rank and say, "Hey, wait a minute! I've been here longer than all of you guys. I have dibs."
I don't have to do this. That's right.
But anyway, the purposes of the seed lab more than anything else. To explain it for us.
Well, every seed has to be tested once a year for its germination. That's federal law. So we have to test everything that comes in here. Every seed comes into this, and every lot. I mean, if you get radish seeds, cherry bell radishes, but you get 5 different lots of it, I have to do 5 different lots of it to test it, because I got to get a germination for each lot.
Now,
so yes, do them all.
Now, you look at all these seeds. I would assume, I don't want to presume that you aren't an expert on seeds, but at least you have some experience with them. Does that make that what you got from the Chinese seeds confounding even more?
Well, yeah, because I know most of the seeds. I mean, I test them every year. I know what they look like. But I'll tell you, the stuff I got from China, I don't have a clue of what in the world those seeds were. So, yes, kind of irritated me that I didn't know what they were.
Yeah, it is interesting. By the way, if you have a question for Jan, she'll take it for a couple of moments at 395-1450, 395-1450. Time now for the Rocky and Bullwinkle segment of Mr. Know-It-All. Talk first about the 2021 calendar. You're still collecting photos for that?
Yes, I am still collecting your pet calendars, your pet pictures for the 2021 DeBruyn DeBruyn calendar. I'll get this right. Your dog or cat, or I don't know, reptile, bird, whatever, could be a star. So, well, I'll get them all in there somehow. So, yes, get them over to me at debruyneseed@gmail.com. That's DEBRUYNS as in Sam, EED@gmail.com. Or you can bring the original pictures into the store. I can scan them into my system and I'll give you the originals back. It's just fun to have all these different animals. Ben sent me pictures of his dog. So, yes, get your pictures over to me by the end of the month, usually, so I have time to play around with them.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yes, I have a hydrangea bush which never blossomed. It's beautiful. It's all leaves, but can I cut it down and start over next year?
Well, if you cut it down too far, you're going to cut down the buds for next year, because they're forming right now on the hydrangea. It probably didn't bloom this year because of that frost we had in May. But if you're going to start cutting it back, you can only do just so far until you get to a swelling on the branch, and that's next year's bud for the flower. So don't cut that off.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate the call. Thank you. 395-1450, 395-1450. A couple more things I want to touch base with you on, a little bit on a serious note. And this was from our statewide wires earlier today. Aerial spraying will begin tomorrow to kill mosquitoes in 10 counties where eastern equine encephalitis has been found this year, including Kent, Berry, Ionia, Mecosta, and Newaygo counties. The state sprayed last year as well with a chemical that occurs naturally in flowers and kills the mosquitoes. Not human EEE cases this year, but 6 people died from it last year. We touched upon it a little bit earlier with our discussions. You were concerned that the eastern equine encephalitis problem we had last fall will crop up again this fall, and looks like those concerns are well founded.
Yeah, those mosquitoes are out there. There's 6 horses or something so far that have been bitten and have it. You don't want to get bit by it. So make sure when you go out, you are well protected, and go outside, go through the backyard, wherever. No standing water whatsoever. If you do have it, you can't get rid of it. The mosquito dunks have to go in there to prevent that larvae from turning into mosquitoes. Get the mosquito eliminator, hang it up away from where you are. Get those mosquitoes out of your backyard. It's not just EEE. The West Nile is out there again this year, and then there was that other one too. So, it's nothing to sneeze at. These are very dangerous things.
And one final thing, and I'm going to be asking you as a master gardener about what they're trying to do at Winston-Salem State University down in North Carolina. It's partnering with NASA to research food development in space. It's part of a 4-year Space Act agreement. The astrobotanists, that's a new one. What did you study in school? Astrobotany. Okay. They're going to use synthetic dirt resembling lunar and Martian soil to grow food in space. So far, the team has grown peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers, and they'll present their findings to NASA and U.S. government officials. Jan, food in space? I don't know whether or not you can recreate it down here on Earth right now.
Yeah, it sounds kind of weird. I like the odd soil. That's what's kind of throwing me. But they're making a good salsa, it sounds like, up there.
I kind of wonder about the taste, though.
Yeah, you get a lot of flavor from the soil, so it will be interesting to see what they taste like.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, speaking about soil, and this is not really a botany question or a gardening question, but NASA is willing to buy moon rocks from any company that goes to the moon and gets them and requests for bids. The space agency said it will pay a contractor for up to a pound of rock from the lunar surface, but the contractor must provide imagery and other data about where the material was collected on the moon, and they want the material in hand before 2024, which is when the agency plans to land the next manned space mission. Maybe they're trying to get some of that soil for planting.
Maybe they're going to put a great big garden up there in 2024. I don't know.
How are you going to be? Well, you don't have to. For one thing, you get constant sun, but you don't get rain.
Yeah,
you have to provide
a lot
water.
Of wind. I don't
know. That's what science marches on, and who knows what's going to happen 5 years from now. She is the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, DeBruyn Seed. It's the Garden Party, presented by DeBruyn Seed, Washington Elm in downtown Zeeland. And Jan, as always, we appreciate the time you spend with us on Tuesday mornings. We'll do this again next Tuesday morning, and you and I will be chatting with our listeners during the Arden Garden Hour, coming up a little after 10 on WHTC's Talk of the Town. Jan, thank you.
Thank you.